Hi, I'm Emma Pownell, Marketing Director at Datel, and I'm here today to talk about Sage Intacct with two of our Sage Intacct experts. We've got Lorna Timms, our Sage Intacct Consultants Manager, and our Services Director, Paolo Arcangelo. We're about a year into working with the product. How have we found it?
It's been amazing. So when we first looked at it, we couldn't believe how intuitive it was, how easy to set up and get running with it pretty much instantly. Our first implementation took only 7 weeks, which I think for the first in anything is quite impressive. But the response, the feedback from the customer was immense. They absolutely loved the software, got to grips with it straight away, and are now looking at a second phase of implementation. There really doesn't seem to be any end to the depth of what we can achieve with the software. So that can be anything from the authorization processes that it has in place in terms of being able to, control who can do what with journals, create purchase orders, who can process payments and have those authorized, all the way through to the integrations that it has into the Salesforce platform and how easy it is to set up and configure that. It really has been quite an exciting journey.
Fantastic. Paolo, how have you found working with it?
Yeah, I think as Lorna said there, really, it's a bit of software that does exactly, what it says on the tin. To coin that phrase, it's very, very quick to implement. It's easy to use. The user interface is very, very intuitive. As Lorna mentioned, the reporting capabilities are incredibly powerful, and it delivers some very, very complex requirements in a very, very simple and easy way. I've had many comments from customers with them saying, it's taken us away from spreadsheets, or a lot of work that they used to do in spreadsheets previously, they're now being able to do in Sage Intacct. So things that we've been talking about, Lorna, I think, we've been talking about it for 20 years, haven't we, about moving people away from spreadsheets and into systems, and now, that's actually been achieved. We've got people who are actually using everything in Sage Intacct.
It is, and I think what you also find is it's from the top level all the way down to the bottom. So, finance directors, CFOs, they love it because of the dashboards, the reporting capability. They can really see how the business is performing very quickly and very easily. And then you go right down to the bottom of the modules and you start looking at the core, the transactional stuff, and it's such an easy to use, intuitive software that the finance teams themselves actually love using it, which is great.
And all the approvals that are there in the product, that the FD can have his payment approvals coming through on his phone. He can then navigate it through, do all the authorization of those. And it's putting really, the control right back into the business again, isn't it?
It is, and it's it's any place, anywhere in the world as well, on any device. So, Sage promote it as the FD's at the top of a mountaintop climbing Kilimanjaro, and he can see on the phone, how the company's performing, and basically to be able to approve a journal if needs be. I'm not sure many CFOs would actually really want to do that. However, the capability is there if you need it.
So we've had some really great feedback from our customers. What is it that they're loving about it? We've
noticed that there's been a massive move towards cloud-delivered software solutions. During that period of time, where one day we were all in the office and the next day we were all working from home. Businesses had a very, very big transition to make at that point in time. And what we're seeing now is businesses are massively embracing that. So Sage Intacct is a complete finance solution, all delivered in the cloud. So there's no server, there's no IT department, and it's a product that can be managed by the finance team for the finance team. The reporting capabilities, Laura and I have been using these solutions for, you won't believe it, but for a long period of time. We've got solutions, like Crystal Reports, SQL Server reporting services. You almost need a PhD to write reports in these sorts of products. But now with Sage Intacct, you can write financial reports, really, really strong, drillable financial reports in a really nice, intuitive user interface, and all that's just delivered out of the box.
Tell me a bit about the Sage Intacct team at Datel.
Well, that's been the most exciting part of the journey for me. Having been a consultant at Datel for a long time, I was given the opportunity to help lead and grow the Intacct team. So we went out to marketplace, we picked a wide variety of different consultants, bringing them different elements, different skill sets into the team, allowing us to really look at things in a different way than we have before. So our project methodology has been totally redeveloped in terms of realigning the team and taking all of their skills and really involving a really great mix of people. It's really been quite exciting.
Yeah, and I think as well as having that Sage Intacct expertise, we've got some of the consultants from other solutions, so we've got them from other Sage solutions, from some non-Sage solutions as well, and it's really that mix and experience that's provided us that I suppose that springboard to really push forward on Sage Intacct. When implementing business systems, 50% of it is the software, but the other 50% is really understanding the business process and having the business knowledge to know how that software should be implemented.
So let's talk a bit about the customers that are adopting Sage Intacct. What are they like?
Well, we've got quite a mixed bag, to be honest with you. So we've got some smaller businesses, which are just a few users in the low millions in terms of turnover, right the way through to some customers with multiple hundreds of users and in the multi-billions in terms of turnovers. So, Sage Intacct has got that real wide breadth of covering lots and lots of different businesses of different shapes and sizes. In terms of market sectors, we're seeing some market sectors starting to emerge in our customer base. So we have charities and not-for-profit, we have healthcare providers, we have financial services providers, we have software, so companies that deal with software and maintenance and that sort of stuff. We've got travel companies, legal services companies, some distribution businesses, and then we've got customers who deliver transport and logistics. And then we've just got some general service providers. So, like I say, it covers many different industries, many different businesses.
It does. And I think what we can bring to the table there is that our consultants also have experience in all of those sectors. So myself, I have worked in everything from manufacturing right up to charities and not-for-profits. So when those businesses come to us and they need our help, we can not just look at the software, but we can actually tailor it to the business processes that they actually require.
Why would a business take Intacct with Datel?
Yeah, I think it's the level of expertise that Datel have in the business. So we're a large business. We're Sage's largest business partner here in the UK. We've got 30 years worth of experience in the business of implementing finance systems. We've got over 1,000 customers in our base. What we're able to do now is take all of that experience that we've gathered over all those years and apply it to Sage Intacct. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to work within the modern architecture that Sage Intacct gives us, and then bring all that experience to blend really the old and the new, for want of a better way of putting it. So we're getting the best of the experience with the best-in-class software to deliver really fantastic solutions to our customers.
So what's next?
We feel like we've just started this adventure, really. We know that Intacct is going a long way in future. Looking forward to developing into other software, into other modules, really, growing the customer base, growing the team, and really helping lead the company forward with this particular piece of software.
Yeah, I think just obviously reflected on that, and it was a great way you put that, Lorna. Really, that we've really just started, haven't we? And I think one of the things that Sage Intacct has, which is a really great feature of the platform, of the solution, is that it's regularly updated on a quarterly basis, and so every quarter new functionality is released, and it's not just little bits of functionality. There's some really big modules coming in the application, so we're really expanding our Fusion product range into Sage Intacct. So we're going to be looking at expanding our Excel Connect solution that's been really successful on Sage 200, Sage 1000 and Sage X3. We're going to expand that and put that into Sage Intacct, and then we're going to be delivering a couple of modules, one for a Sage payroll integration and another one for a direct debits collection module for Sage Intacct. So we've really got a lot to be looking forward to for the next few years.
Sounds like you're going to be busy.
Very, yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you both so much for sharing a bit more about Sage Intacct and Intacct at Datel. If anyone would like a bit more information about Sage Intacct, please get in touch with the team. They'd be more than happy to have a chat with you.